Hey, Doug here from Worship Musician Magazine, and welcome to this video about the Revv D20. So is this the best amp out there for worship guitar players? Based on the tone and feature set, in my opinion, it is. But let's play and talk our way through the feature set so you can check it out for yourself. All right, at the top there, we were running the 70th anniversary broadcaster straight into the amplifier, utilizing the pull function on the gain control that adds all this lovely jangle. What we're going to do for this next demo is we're going to push that gain control back in, and it's just more of a traditional 6v6 kind of a tone. Let's take a listen. For this next demo, we're going to be using the piezo output on this PRS SE2 hollow body piezo. But before we do that, I want to talk through the signal chain and how I've got this set up. Obviously, I've got two amps behind me, so I want to kind of go through how they're connected. I'm using this amp as the master head. I'm coming out of the send of that amplifier into the return of that one. And in this fashion, that one's the master and that one is the slave. The master volume on both amps allows you to adjust the volume independently, but the tone is being created by that amp. All right, now we're also adding an Eventide H9 into the front end of the master head, which means it's going to come out evenly on both amps. Let's take a listen. One of the many things that this amp's got going for it is it's a great pedal platform. And for this one, I'm utilizing the American Original 60s Telecaster thin line into the Solo Dallas Storm for some drive, into the Source Audio Collider for just the delay, and I bypass the reverb on the Eventide H9, again running into the master head and in turn out into the slave for dual mono. Let's take a listen. Moving back over to the American Original 60 Stratocaster, I'm now running my Helix rack into the power amp in on both amps for true stereo. A couple of things to keep in mind. You can run these amps via the push button on the face of the amp at either 20 watts or 4. In this instance, I want to have the maximum amount of headroom, so I'm running them at 20 watts. The other thing is on the Helix rack, I have bypassed any cabinet modeling or any IRs because I'm going to be using the speakers in the cabinets. Moving over to the Gretsch Steve Wariner Nashville Gentleman, this demo really exemplifies where these amps excel for worship musicians in a live setting. I'm going straight into one amplifier. I'm coming out of the XLR out, bypassing the cabinet, leveraging the internal reactive load, and in turn via the 6-position dial on the face of the amplifier, I'm dialing up one of the 6 virtual cabinets, in this case a 212 closed back Revv cabinet mic'd up with a virtual Sennheiser 421 and Royer 121. That's going directly into Pro Tools, where I've added some stereo delay and reverb. Using the same setup as I was in the last demo, now I'm really fine-tuning the tone, utilizing the controls that you have the ability to just sculpt a huge range of tones thanks to the push-pull function on the gain control. When you turn it up, more gain, more drive, still got some jangle in there, but the other function about this setup is that when you're running direct out, you have the option of either incorporating the power amp in the signal chain as you go out of the direct out via the XLR, or you can bypass it. In this instance, I'm using it. I'm running the power amp at 20 watts, and I'm manipulating how hard I'm driving the preamp and the power amp to get this sound. Let's take a listen. There are a couple more key features that I'm going to talk about, but not demonstrate. First of all, these amps feature MIDI in, which gives you the ability to control a huge number of things, including which virtual cabinet you're using. The other thing is they come bundled with the 2Notes remote software, which is how you get either IRs or your virtual cabinets into the D20. But you have even more control inside the 2Notes remote software. You can choose a virtual power amp, which means you can virtually swap out the power amp tubes. You can add reverb. You can choose which microphones and which cabinets you're using. The amount of control is really limitless. Thanks so much for checking out this video. For more information, please visit revamplification.com. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Worship Musician channel, we'd invite you to do so. And please don't forget to ring the bell so we can let you know when new videos are going online. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.